Hey YouTubers, welcome to the Cyber Overwatch channel. I am Pragmatic1. In this video, I'll provide an overview of the MITRE ATT&CK framework and its components, along with explaining why the ATT&CK framework is helpful in modern security operations. This will include going over examples of tactics, techniques, and procedures. I'll cover several other topics such as practical applications of ATT&CK framework, how different security rules can apply the ATT&CK framework, and finally delve into the entire ecosystem of complementary resources such as CAR, Defend, and Caldera. I won't be diving too deep into the technical weeds, but it should provide a solid understanding of the benefits of the ATT&CK framework. If you find this content informative and you are interested in cybersecurity, please like and subscribe to the Cyber Overwatch channel. Also, for more free content, please regularly check back on the cybersec.com website. The MITRE ATT&CK framework is a globally accessible knowledge base of adversary tactics and techniques derived from real-world observations of cyber attacks. The framework organizes adversarial activity into a structured matrix of tactics, threat actors' strategic objectives, techniques, threat actors' methods to achieve those objectives, and procedures, specific implementation threat actors use, enabling security professionals to analyze threats, design defenses, and communicate findings using a common knowledge. Beyond threat documentation, ATT&CK serves as a foundation for an ecosystem of complementary resources that I will briefly cover that includes CAR for detection analytics, Defend for defensive strategies, and Caldera for adversary emulation, making it an essential tool for detection engineering, incident response, threat intelligence, and security operations across the cybersecurity industry. MITRE operates a federally funded research and development center tackling complex challenges across critical infrastructure, defense, and emerging technologies. While their portfolio spans artificial intelligence, space systems, and healthcare innovation, their cybersecurity frameworks have fundamentally transformed how security teams approach threat detection and defense architecture. The creation of the ATT&CK framework traces back to 2013 when MITRE researchers identified a significant operational gap. The security industry lacked standardized language to describe adversarial behavior. Security teams were documenting identical attack patterns using different terminology, creating friction in intelligence sharing and cross-organizational collaboration. This fragmentation hindered our collective ability to build effective defense and communicate threat intelligence efficiently. ATT&CK was developed specifically to address this challenge by establishing a common taxonomy for adversary tactics and techniques based on their empirical observation from real-world intrusions. ATT&CK stands for Adversarial Tactics, Techniques, and Common Knowledge. This framework can be considered a massive encyclopedia of how threat actors operate, built from real-world observations of cyber attacks. But it's more than just a reference guide. It's become the universal language of cybersecurity. The framework's architecture consists of 4 fundamental layers that work together to create a comprehensive knowledge base. Tactics represent the threat actor's strategic goals. This explains why a threat actor is performing an action, for example, gaining initial entry into a system. Techniques describes the specific methods threat actors use to achieve their tactical objectives. This explains how a threat actor would execute an action. Sub-technique provides a more specific or lower level description of adversarial behavior. Procedures describe step-by-step guides that threat actors follow in order to execute an attack. These are detailed implementations of techniques and sub-techniques. The attack matrix serves as the primary visualization tool, organizing tactics horizontally across the attack lifecycle and techniques vertically beneath each tactic. This design enables analysts to quickly understand both the what and how of adversary operations. What started as a Windows-focused framework has evolved dramatically. Today, ATT&CK covers enterprise environments that include Mac OS and Linux, mobile platforms, and even industrial control systems. The cybersecurity community continuously contributes to its growth, making it a living, breathing resource. In this video, I'll provide a general walkthrough on how to use the ATT&CK matrix and navigator tool to analyze threat actor behaviors. Let's say a threat actor is attempting to breach a corporate network. They completed their first tactical goal of reconnaissance, gathering information about the target. They may have employed gather victim identity information or phishing for information techniques. Upon completion, they attempt to achieve their second tactical goal of initial access, which breaks down into specific sub-techniques like spear phishing attachment, spear phishing link, spear phishing via service, and spear phishing voice. Every technique page is more than just a definition. It's a blueprint for defense. While the ID like T1566 for phishing gives your team a common language, the real power lies in procedure examples and detection strategies. This is where theoretical threats become practical security controls. By seeing exactly how adversaries bypass systems, you can implement specific mitigations and monitoring rules needed to shut them down. It's about moving from knowing a threat exists to stopping it in its tracks. Effective threat intelligence begins with systematic analysis of adversary behavior patterns. This video provides a general idea of how security professionals transform raw intelligence into actionable defensive measures. Let's examine how a security team might research a group like Lazarus that is known to target the financial sector. The process involves several systematic steps. At the attack main page, navigate to the CTI Groups section and search for Lazarus in the Groups panel on the left-hand side. After selecting Lazarus Group, I can read the description on the APT group, along with the ID number, associated groups, contributors, created date, etc. on the right-hand side. One thing to keep in mind is that the federal government, organizations, and security companies will at times assign different group names for the same threat group. MITRE ATT&CK attempts to consolidate the information in the associated groups description section, where it is possible to view the different names a threat group may go by, such as in this case, Lazarus has gone by Hidden Cobra by the federal government or Zinc by Microsoft. MITRE ATT&CK also provides a campaigns section. If a group is a threat actor, the who, a campaign is a specific operation, the when and where. While attack group pages aggregate everything a threat actor has ever done, the campaigns section isolates activity into time-bound clusters with specific targets. For defenders, this is a game changer. It allows you to track how the adversary tactics change over time, showing you not just what they are capable of, but what they have been doing right now. Instead of defending against a decade of legacy behaviors, you can prioritize the TTPs seen in the most recent campaigns. By performing campaign analysis, you can better understand the threat group. As noted earlier, the campaigns section will document identified operations associated with a threat actor, such as Lazarus. The campaigns section contains the ID, name, first seen, last seen, references, and technique columns. Clicking on the hyperlink goes into further detail about the campaigns. When you dive into TTP mapping, you're moving beyond just naming the enemy to understanding their playbook. By reviewing the techniques used section, you can see specific IDs and sub-techniques that reveal a group's patterns. Don't skip the use field. This is where the data gets practical. For example, instead of just seeing PowerShell, the use field explains exactly how a group like Lazarus manipulated PowerShell to bypass a specific defense, giving you the context needed to build better detections. As an example, if I want to delve deeper into a threat group's patterns, I can click on the several techniques available under the Techniques Used section. For this demo, I clicked Technique ID T1134. That brings me to the Access Token Manipulation Technique page. When I click on the Sub-Techniques dropdown, I can see several sub-techniques associated with Access Token Manipulation. Clicking on one sub-technique provides further details. In the description, it advises, in short, that Windows uses access tokens to decide which user a process runs as, and what it can do. Attackers can copy or modify these tokens so a process runs under another user's or system's security context, bypassing normal access controls. The technique ID information lists the ID, sub-technique ID, tactics associated with this technique, among other things. Scrolling down to the procedure examples section is essentially a history of documented attacks. By looking at the name column, you can identify which toolsets are most commonly associated with access token manipulation. The description provides the technical context you need to build better detections, as they summarize exactly how those tools were leveraged to escalate privileges or bypass security controls. Once you understand the attack, you need a defense. Scrolling down to the mitigation section, MITRE gives you a direct roadmap to neutralize the threat. For a technique like access token manipulation, it points you towards specific controls like privileged account management. The description field breaks down the why behind each fix, and if you click the mitigation name, you'll get a deep dive into the technical configurations needed to lock your system down. Directly below mitigations, the detection section provides the technical blueprint for visibility. Each entry includes an analytic ID and description that explains how to identify specific malicious behaviors within your environment. Whether you're fine-tuning an EDR tool or writing a new SIM role, this section provides the logic needed to turn raw log data into high-fidelity alerts. The intelligence directly informs defensive priorities, detection engineering efforts, and incident response playbook development. Scrolling past the techniques used section, we find the software section, which catalogs the specific malware and toolsets linked to the threat group. This is where the threat intelligence becomes highly granular. By analyzing these toolkits, you can identify patterns in how Lazarus automates their attacks. Clicking into the specific piece of software provides a deeper dive into the functionality, allowing you to map out the exact footprint that malware leaves behind on a system. The Attack Navigator transforms static technique lists into dynamic customizable heat maps that reveal coverage gaps and threat priorities. Navigator features include layer creation for mapping detection coverage across security controls, color coding to visualize detection maturity level, technique scoring to prioritize defensive investments, and export capabilities for sharing across teams and stakeholders. Red teams leverage attack to design realistic attack scenarios that test organizational defenses. By emulating documented adversary behaviors, security teams can validate detection capabilities and identify defensive weaknesses. Emulation plan components include scenario definition based on relevant threat groups, technique sequencing that mirrors real attack chains, success criteria for each emulated technique, and detection verification to confirm security controls function as intended. MITRE ATT&CK isn't just academic, it's transforming daily operations across the cybersecurity landscape. Several roles within cybersecurity can leverage this framework. Detection engineer specialists can map their SIM roles and EDR detection to attack techniques, identifying coverage gaps and ensuring comprehensive monitoring across the attack lifecycle. Incident response professionals can reconstruct attack timelines by mapping observed activities to techniques, helping them understand the full scope of breaches and prevent similar attacks. Security operations analysts can use attack to add context to security alerts. When an alert is triggered, analysts can immediately reference the associated technique, understand the attacker's likely next move, and prioritize their response. Offensive security teams, red or purple teams, can design realistic attack simulations based on known adversary TTPs, testing whether defenses can actually detect and prevent documented techniques. Threat intelligence analysts can analyze adversary campaigns and map their behaviors to attack techniques. This creates standardized threat profiles that can be shared industry-wide, accelerating collective defense. MITRE didn't stop innovating with attack. They built an entire ecosystem of complementary resources, including CAR, or Cyber Analytics Repository, bridges the gap between knowing what to detect using the attack techniques and implementing actual detections. CAR provides validated analytics with pseudocode, platform-specific queries, and testing methodologies. Instead of figuring out how to detect a technique from scratch, CAR provides pre-built queries for platforms like Splunk, complete with validation tests and pseudocode explanation. Take CAR 2019-04004 as a prime example of detection logic. It's built to stop credential dumping by flagging any process attempting to read the LSAS memory space. By implementing this analytic, you're moving beyond basic signatures and targeting the actual operational method threat actors use to harvest credentials in your environment. For organizations looking to move from a passive to a proactive defense, CAR provides the tactical steps to make it happen. By following the structured implementation guides, from logic review to query adaptation to rigorous testing, you can reliably detect the techniques cataloged in attack. This workflow ensures your detections are not only technically sound, but are properly tuned to your unique network telemetry, reducing the burden of false positives on your analysts. MITRE Defend flips the script entirely. While the attack framework documents offensive techniques, Defend catalogs defensive countermeasures. It shows you not just what threat actors do, but exactly how to stop them. Each defensive technique includes implementation guidance and links to specific attack techniques it defeats. The Defend framework organizes countermeasures into 7 major tactical categories, each containing specific defensive techniques. Categories such as harden, detect, isolate, deceive, evict, restore, and model. MITRE Defend's power lies in its explicit connection to attack techniques. For instance, process spawn analysis technique D3-PSA directly counters several techniques documented in the attack framework, such as T1053 scheduled tasks technique. When threat intelligence reveals an adversary using scheduled tasks for persistence or privilege escalation, Defend guides defenders to implement domain trust policies, process spawn analysis, and kernel-based process isolation as an example. If MITRE ATT&CK is the encyclopedia, Caldera is the simulation. It's an automated adversary emulation platform that literally brings the framework to life. Instead of just reading about an attack, Caldera lets you autonomously execute full attack chains within your network. With pre-built profiles based on real threat groups, it makes autonomous decisions, adapting its path based on how your environment responds. It's the most realistic way to validate whether your defenses actually stand up to a live fire scenario. While I've focused on the heavy hitters like attack and defend, MITRE's work doesn't stop there. It's clear that as the tech threat landscape shifts, the MITRE methodology is evolving right along it to level the playing field. MITRE is constantly pushing the framework into the newest frontiers of tech, such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, and autonomous systems. These frameworks include Atlas. Atlas framework documents adversarial techniques targeting artificial intelligence systems. Securing AI requires a different mindset, and that's where Atlas comes in. It maps out adversarial threats that traditional security tools often miss, such as adversarial examples, where inputs are subtly manipulated to trick a model into making the wrong decision. By standardizing these AI-specific tactics, MITRE gives developers and security teams a common language to harden their models against the next generation of automated threats. Adapt. Finally, we have ADAPT, which brings the proven attack methodology to the world of Web3. It's a specialized framework designed to map threats against blockchain networks, crypto wallets, and smart contracts. By using that familiar attack structure, ADAPT helps security teams identify digital asset-specific attack vectors like flash loan exploits or private key theft before they lead to catastrophic financial loss. If you're operating in the AI or blockchain space, these are the essential resources you need to stay ahead of the curve. In conclusion, the MITRE ATT&CK framework has evolved beyond a simple taxonomy to become the essential standard for threat-informed defense. By providing a unified language for adversarial behavior, it allows security organizations to shift from reactive posture to one of proactive, disciplined intelligence. The true value of this ecosystem lies in its ability to operationalize every stage of the security lifecycle. Detection engineering utilizes CAR for validated analytics, incident responders leverage standardized terminology to reconstruct attack chains, and Red Team uses Caldera to move from theory to automated validation. Furthermore, the expansion into Atlas and ADAPT ensures that as your organization adopts AI and blockchain, your defensive strategy remains ahead of the threat landscape. Ultimately, the framework's greatest strength is its ability to facilitate global collaboration. When we document and share threats through a consistent lens, we accelerate our collective ability to detect and neutralize them. Operational mastery of these tools requires ongoing commitment and community engagement, but the result is a resilient, evidence-based security program. Thank you for tuning into this video, MITRE ATT&CK Explained, Understanding its Practical Use. Thank you for also checking out the Cyber Overwatch channel. If you find this content informative and you are interested in cybersecurity, please like and subscribe to the Cyber Overwatch channel. For more free content, check out the cybersec.com website found in the description. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a question in the comments, or you can send me a message from the CyberSec website listed in the description. Until next time, keep learning. The only way to improve is to keep learning. Pragmatic One, signing off.